Standing 338 feet tall with a base circumference of 942 feet, the Ruwanwelisaya stupa rivals the mass of the Great Pyramids. This colossal dome was the obsession of ancient Sri Lanka's King Gmanu. He aimed to build the ultimate sanctuary to house a drona, a specific massive ancient measurement of the Buddha's physical relics. Constructing a monument of this size presented an immediate logistical problem. It required raw materials in volumes far beyond what the ancient capital of Anuradhapura could provide. Realizing the king's vision demanded an aggressive, highly coordinated operation stretching across the entire island. This massive mobilization launched on the Vesak full moon day, precisely timed to specific astrological alignments. Heavy foundation materials had to be transported across vast distances. Builders sourced specific clay from northern riverbanks, while silver was mined 8 yojanas, an ancient measurement of distance, to the south. Precious metals poured in next, with gold and copper flowing directly from the eastern provinces. To secure ocean jewels, they established supply routes from the western coast for pearls and the northwest for rubies. The wealth and geographical output of a nation was physically funneled into a single coordinate on the map. At the construction site, workers excavated the earth exactly 7 cubits deep to establish a bedrock base. The very first foundation layer consisted of heavy, round stones laid deep into the pit. To compact this base, the builders brought in war elephants. They bound the elephants' feet in thick leather and drove them over the site, brutally crushing the stones into an immovable surface. On top of that crushed stone, they stacked a highly specific sequence of materials: a layer of bricks, rough plaster, quartz, an iron netting, and finally a layer of fragrant clay. They followed this with heavy protective shielding, stacking white stone, rock crystal, and massive stone slabs on top of the clay. To finish the foundation, they applied a chemical seal composed of mercury, resin, and clay, capped off by thick bronze plates, sesame oil, and solid silver plates. They built an obsessively engineered vault designed to bear millions of tons of weight and survive for millennia. Work then shifted to the interior core on the Asala full moon day, a moment when this heavy physical engineering merged with deep spiritual rituals. Following a miraculous retrieval of the physical relics by the monk Arahant Sanuttara, the king placed them inside a golden Buddha statue situated exactly at the chamber's center. The attending monks then cast protective vows over the space, swearing that the chamber would withstand earthquakes without shaking, and that the floral offerings inside would never wither. With the relics secured, the monks permanently sealed the chamber with a massive stone slab, intentionally hiding it from the public and potential enemies forever. To the builders, physical engineering and spiritual magic were equally vital technologies required to protect the kingdom's most precious asset. Fast forward through decades of labor, the massive white dome is finally rising into the sky, reaching the Hatras Kotwa, the square spire situated just below the pinnacle. But with the end in sight, King Gmanu falls deathly ill. Unable to walk, the dying king is carried out on a palanquin so he can gaze one last time at his unfinished life's work. He spends his final moments lying in the shadow of the Great Dome, listening to his advisors recite his Book of Merit, a detailed accounting of his life's good deeds. Looking up at the white walls, the king passes away peacefully. He poured his entire life and the wealth of his kingdom into a vision he knew he might never live to see completed. His brother, King Sadatisa, took up the mantle and finally completed the towering spire. A theological prophecy forever attached itself to the monument, stating that its royal builders will be reborn as the chief disciples of the future Maitreya Buddha. Today, the great stupa still dominates the ancient, ruined landscape of Anuradhapura. Thousands of pilgrims dressed in white fill the grounds today, maintaining a cycle of ritual and prayer that has continued since the ancient kingdom's peak. Ruwanwelisaya stands as the physical result of an entire nation's resources being funneled into a single, uncompromising act of devotion.